So there's two ways of making a buffer solution, and there's also two types of buffer solution. There's an acidic buffer that has a pH of less than neutral 7, and you've also got basic buffers where their pH is greater than 7. When calibrating pH probes, you usually use a buffer solution of 4, 7 and 10. And that's where these come from. To make a buffer solution, okay, first method is adding a weak acid to a salt of the same weak acid, and this obviously works in the same way for a weak base and a salt of the weak base if you're going to make a basic buffer. The second method is by adding a weak acid to a strong base, and for this to work we have to have an excess amount of this and a limiting amount of this. And what happens is the HA, the weak acid, reacts with the OH- and we produce salt and we produce water. And with this being in a limiting reagent, a limiting amount, all of it gets used up, so we don't have any of this, but we've got some of this left over and we've got some of this left over, and what we have is a mixture of a weak acid and a salt of the weak acid, hence buffer. And this works exactly the same way for making a basic buffer, but instead we use a weak acid, a weak base and a strong acid.